Welcome back, everyone. It is October 18th, 2024, and here we are inside of my home. I'm going to showcase my northwest facing window and some of the plants that I have. So a kind of mini plant tour here. As I mentioned in yesterday's video or in this week's video, that I have the silver sword assorted very nicely in a Sansevieria Zeylanica, and here it is. I just want to showcase it. Look at her. I've got her in this very nice basket that I purchased here in town at Bread and Butter, and I used it for my plant. I've got it lined with a nice drip liner, and that's inside at the very bottom. And this is a very nice Zeylanica, and I've stuck these 3 leaves in here. I've got the other propagating because it just fell over, not because it was mushy, just because it needed a little bit more stability or more longer roots to be placed in here. And they seem to thrive. These silver swords, they seem to thrive very well in water. And I've got this nice little faux wheat here, dried wheat here, not faux. A little calathea that I need to trim because she's got a little browning there. But I did trim one leaf back, and she's given me this nice new leaf here. So let's move on over to, you all saw my little Hoya, and this one is again the Freckled Splash Hoya Carnosa, and she's here in a little basket. She's just here. Bless you, sweetheart. Got her watching a little blippy just so I can make this video. I don't think I've ever shown this monstera, but she is quite large, and she used to sit over by my west facing window, but she's since been here. I do believe I'm going to chop her. I'm going to chop her here, and because look at this beautiful growth point. Look at these aerial roots it's giving me. I've had her for several years. Guys, I kind of went on a hiatus. And but yeah, I've got definitely a lot of plenty work cut out for me. So if you didn't see my video on the tips of just how to tackle your planty chores, just write them down and group them from by category, like watering, trimming, resizing, repotting, and by plant type. But that seems to be better and less overwhelming. So this is where I have my plants, you all. So I have them here. I love my little frog situation that I have going on here. This is a pilea. She's growing very nicely up here. My PSS, which if you recall in that video, if you haven't, but either way, take a look. She's got this new little lobes here, and she's growing so nicely. So I've kind of turned her west facing so that these leaves can grow out a little bit longer. But I've got her there. Also, I've got this peperomia here, which has nice black margins. And guys, I had gifted this to my son's bus driver, and I took a little 2-leaf cutting, and it's propagated very nicely in this. I have it in leca, and I got the water up here just because its roots are just about here. But it's growing so nicely, and there's this tiny baby leaf. I don't know if you can see it. Look at that little leaf. Oh my goodness, I love it. I live for that. Those little details that show me that they are appreciating everything that I give them. This is my painted lady. She's very juvenile, and I think she's reverting some of her spots. This is a sun stress leaf here. No infestations whatsoever on any of my plants. I've got the painted lady here, and she's a little bit more mature than the one I have here, probably several years older. But I recently purchased her, if you hadn't seen my video, but I just wanted to show her Look at the venation on this. And I believe there's another leaf growing from in here. I've got a couple of my elbows, two elbows actually. The tissue culture is in this little jar here, sharing some water, distilled water. Or you can buy baby water with no added vitamins or fluoride or anything like that. Just get distilled water and you can use that for your propagation, and add maybe a little bit of Super Thrive, check the pH on that, and then have yourself a really nice time. But this little greenhouse here serves for my very special and unique plants. I kind of want to show, I wanted to show you all this Monstera. I've got her in Spanish sphagnum moss, and she's growing very nicely, you all. I purchased her from a seller off of Marketplace, and it was relatively cheap. This is an elbow cutting, and it has got this new little growth point right in here, you all. Can you see that? You see that there? That little tiny bit right there? Yeah. It's doing a very good job of growing, and this is a nice little setup that I have for it. I enjoy it. I try to make sure that none of the leaves touch the glass. That little crispiness up the very top, that's kind of typical for the whitings of these of the elbows, but I definitely want to change the medium that I have it in soon because the roots are pretty long. Take my word for it. My little froggy here. Hi, froggy. My other little frog. This is my like froggy station, and this is a little froggy watering can, which I absolutely love. And this is my little aloe. If you saw my aloe propagation video, it's loving the sun and the shade here. Let's see, what else do I have here? The little Zeylonica kind of hiding. And this is another Zeylonica that I have. I love this plant. Can you guys see? I love this plant here. I want to share with you all a tip on pot sizing and sizing up. Let me move this one really quickly just so I can go ahead and share this with you a little bit better. Okay, so you see its original pot. This is the original pot. It's not in a nursery pot. It's in this little plastic thing here. So I was going to take it to Plant Hill Nursery one day. I actually took it there, and I was going to have it repotted into this container here. And they're like, well, you know what? We're impressed at how long and straight this Zeylonica is. We've never seen that. But they said if you get a bigger pot for your plant's leaves will be, this is not flopping over. This is just kind of the way it's growing into the dirt. But if you resize it or size it up, the leaves will not get mushy, is what they said. But they're gonna flop over. Like they're just gonna droop over. They're just gonna droop over. They love to be compact, which I knew that they like to be compact, but the pot sizing, that's new to me. So I thought I'd share that because I said, this is such a great thing to share. This is a great thing to share and a great thing to know. So this is its next size pot. This is going to be the next pot up. But even then, this might be a little too big. But I love it. I love this. This is just so gorgeous the way it's like rods in the dirt. So gorgeous. Little money tree here that loves to be dried out between waterings. My Brazilian philodendron that has new growth here. And my other, the twin, my other twin of the freckled splash, which I kind of want to go ahead and just see if I can trellis that. Or maybe put both of the plants together and then trellis it possibly onto this basket. But I just thought I'd share. Oh, yeah, almost forgot. This is my croton, guys. I did buy this one at a big box store, but I didn't buy it this small. I'm sorry, this big. Look at the spots on this. You see that? The spots on here, I live for this type of spotting. The spotting and this whole thing. It's been outside, so it's got some dead leaves down there. Not from the plant itself, but just from the atmosphere. I've got some new growth right here. I wanted to let you all know that I'm in the Midwest. And I just wanted to share that I set this outside for maybe, I mean, how long was it? For like 2 months. I set this croton outside for maybe about 2 months, possibly the whole summer. I know that's kind of a big range, but I just don't recall. Maybe the whole summer. So I set it out, and it's kind of between my home and my neighbor's house, so it does get partial shade. It didn't have like sun blasting all on it. But I was almost going to throw this. I mean, I don't throw plants away. They either die on me from neglect or whatever it is that something just happens to them. But I decided to trim it. And I don't know, I've done that with Ruda. I've done it with like these little stemmy type of plants. Hard stem. See how it's like kind of like a wooded? Well, this obviously has to go, right? This is completely dead. But guys, it was just not thriving for me. It was looking really pitiful, but it's got like a ton of new growth. And I also want to share, I mean, I would love to just go to my garage right now and share, but I used kind of like wood bone for outdoor plants, and I sprinkled some on top of it. Meal bone. I want to go outside and actually get that back. It's meal bone. I'm going to have to link it or add it in the description. But I think it did wonders for it, because look at my croton. Look at these little baby leaves in there. I really enjoy that it is not dead on me. I really love this plant. And I got it, and when I purchased this croton, it was maybe mid-size, and so I like to say that it's grown quite a bit. And it just adds the pop of color. And it also has the same coloring, I'm noticing, as my my other snake plants. Like, it's got the nice yellow, it's got the yellow spots, it's got the green. So I mean, they could be side by. I could do maybe an assortment at some point with that. Do you all have croton? Do you have croton? Then I have my aloe down there, which I have a plantiture to kind of break these guys up and possibly put something else in that pot. If not, just kind of give those away to my beautiful planty friends from my BNE or my gardening group here in town. And then I have a pothos down there, but I just wanted to share that with you all. It's my little situation here, and I am very much in love with it. I'm going to move my my croton. I'm going to move it. I got these little guys, little kind of decoration things. They were outside. I'm going to move these, and I'm going to put them somewhere else. These little poppies are ceramics. So I am, I'm very happy with this area. I do want to move some of these frogs. And once I have a Hoya. It's pronounced Lee. A Hoya Lee coming. And I think that's going to go into that beautiful greenhouse. It's going to be sharing with the monsteras. High humidity, very nice growth. I hope that it does what it needs to do for me. Pray and hope. It's a one leaf cutting. And then I've got a couple others. The rope Hoya is just I think the pinnacle of the love that I have for Hoyas, just because it did bloom for me. It has like this nice 5-point little starlets. They're like plush pink. When it bloomed, I was over the moon. I have a picture in my Instagram of the bloom, and I was looking at it. I said I would just love for all of my Hoyas to bloom possibly at the same time, but I know that's very rare. That doesn't happen. And I was like, who am I kidding? These are all in different stages. Some of them hopefully by then have nice roots. So I got the rope Hoya. That one's a little bit longer. The Hoya Lee, that one's going to be a stem. When I have that, I will do an unboxing of that, of each and every one of them, because they're not all going to arrive here at the same time. So I will do that for you all. I also will just share, I think, my other unboxings. I know I did, the latest one was the TCs. Guys, my Spirit to Sanity did not make it, my TC. And I'm waiting for another. I asked for they're replacing it. And yeah, I just hope that it arrives a little bit like this situation here. This one has a root. The other one did not, and it was so strange. I don't know. That's the only thing that I've never really killed anything that was that juvenile. Like, it needed, you guys, I was going to be in utter shock if it survived, but it surely didn't. And this is very juvenile too, but look at the roots. At least it has roots. And I also want to show you this one. I forgot where I got this little, this is a Tycon. And this Tycon had a little bit of root rot. Guys, when I say I had to do a surgery, I had to do a surgery. I put on gloves and I, with a razor, cut some root rot off of this. And all of these new roots grew. I mean, it was so, because there was barely any roots on here. The root rot was so intense, so severe. And then I had to go in and just do a little surgery. Like, I had to cut around. I was left with hardly anything. But I know there's some blacking, like there's some dark spots there. And I probably will go back in just to kind of clean. You see that really dark spot in there? I will probably go back in there with a razor, more than likely, and just scrape that off. Whatever I can. But it's got some nice healthy roots to it. And this water is distilled water, or you get yourself nursery water with no added minerals, no fluoride, and just a tiny little bit, and it's sitting in a glass. It's sitting in a very small glass. This is a baby bottle. I'm no longer using baby bottles, so that's what this is going to be repurposed for, and it fits very nicely here. I've got to add some more water because it's drank plenty. I had it to about only root level. So only about to the root level there, the water. Please do not overfill the water, and don't fill water to these veiny parts in the middle, these splits. You're gonna get a lot of rot. That's probably what happened here, and I actually cut all of that off. But you want, here, let me set this here. I set my phone here. Please don't fall, please don't fall. Oh. You want to set the water to about root, like even right here is fine. Don't go higher than that. You see the veins here, or this little split here? Don't go water level should not touch that, okay? And if you do, you might be at risk of root rot, okay? Or having the root rot come all the way up. But these look so healthy. They look very nice. Look at these nice veins. Veins. Roots. They're veins. They're plenty veins. Yeah, but I definitely want to go in with a razor and cut that off. I am not touching this because I am just overly protective of touching the roots themselves. But that's in there. And then this guy's gonna go in there. I'm also thinking about cutting these little stems right there, that one and that one, just because I know the energy is gonna go back into this one leaf here. It doesn't look too healthy, and that is not a good sign, guys. A little blacking part in the veins. But that's what's in here. That's what's in this little greenhouse that I've, the little terrarium greenhouse that I have for it. And I want to show you the roots on this one too. Here you go. Let me give you guys. I have to check these out too. So the last time I checked these, roots were to the bottom. Oh, it's loving this. Oh, sphagnum moss. It's loving the sphagnum moss. You see there's roots in there too. You see that's a little piece of root right there. But the roots are literally all the way to the bottom. Here. Let me go get my gloves, guys. Check these out. These are really nice. I don't like the darkening of this here. Doesn't look too crazy. I'm not thrilled about it. But just the mere fact that you have like little white tips and you have other... this is probably ready for a little pot. Excuse my butt. Which I should probably show you. I got a little terracotta for this. And I did purchase a couple of things at Plant Hill today. But look how nice. So it's got nice roots in there. You see that one right there and there. And this is one as well. But I think it's happy in this little greenhouse. It's a nice stem. That growth point right there, I'm living off of that. I'm living for that. Right there. Very nice. And this guy right here, don't worry about that so much because you are getting your growth points here from here. You're not going to get anything from here. This is just where they did the cutting to sell it, as well as this. Now, if you see any more blackening or darkening of the stem itself, like all the way down here and possibly up, like don't even, like you can try salvaging that, but just be careful, okay? Just be careful and don't continue to cut and cut and cut and cut, and then you're gonna just not be happy with that. But anyway, she's in this nice little sphagnum moss mix here, and she's able to be jostled around. You can move it a little bit here and there and everywhere. But I don't fuss with this. I'm just letting it grow. I don't know. I think I'm going to give it one more week. Should I give it one more week? What do you think? Just let it do its thing in here. I'm checking the roots also. It's got a little green moss type of situation there. As long as it's not black or brown or anything like that for my plants, should be fine. Kind of want to show you what I bought today at Plant Hill. So I can either take you with me. I didn't bring that bag here. So I'm going to take you with me and possibly talk. Okay, so I want to show you. So I showed you my monstera, and these are my other. This is another. Sorry, I had to check. See if it was still recording, but look how beautiful this little twist and turn is here. Is that in shot? Look at how pretty that. I just love snake plants. They're so hardy, so thick, lush, and I love the color. That yellow on green, it's so, that lime. on this hunter green. Oh, I live for that. I live for that. I live for it. I absolutely love. And this is my Madagascar palm. My Madagascar palm. Madagascar palm. I did have her hanging in a little pot outside, and she has grown a little bit since. You see a little, like a little bit of growth down here. So I'm hoping that, and then she's got like a couple of wonky leaves because I'm sure these squirrels were like trying to get at it. So pretty. But oh, this is the silver sword I was talking about. I have plants everywhere, guys, literally. So this is the silver sword I was talking about, and I should probably chop. It's got some white roots. Don't like that rotting situation that I had there. I did chop it, and I'm not going to chop it again. I know a lot of you would probably say that's no good, but the roots are there. I'm probably going to let it callus over a little bit. Throw it, pour a little bit of hydrogen peroxide on it. Maybe a little bit of alcohol with like a cotton swab. But I don't think it's not gonna die on me, guys. I don't think it will. I'm very positive it will not. And this little blemish happened because something was rubbed on top of it. But it's so beautiful. I love it. I love these silver swords. They're just very unique. They're beautiful. Almost like a ghost color, like in your Hoyas. And this is another snake plant that I calloused over, hoping for roots, and I have them in this little jar here. It's probably way too much water for it, actually. But that's that. It's in this situation right here. It's another. I've had this one for many years. Many years. I'm going to say maybe over a decade. And it started off as a little tiny plant that we had in our terrarium for our little bullfrog. And it's grown so much since. And it's so lush and gorgeous. And I love her. And she's in this little pot here. So I wanted to show you what I got from, and then I have another one down there, another one down there. I'm sorry, this is turned into a little planty tour, but it's not really. I have other plants. Okay, so let's talk about this pothos maybe, because this is a tip that may be useful to someone. Buy yourself a little pothos. If it's in a little bush and very like a top bush, check out the venations, check out the veins on it. And if they have long veins, guess what you can do, guys? You can unfurl the whole loop. Like say all of this was looped to make a basket, like one thing. And you can style it. Pardon my planter pot. You can style it. Just check the way that the stems are growing, and you can definitely style it. Mine is just loving the sun, so you can do that. But see how they're kind of wrapped in there? You can do that if you have a long hanging pothos. Which this one, I just started becoming one long pothos. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just put this wrap this up here and just style it the way I want to. But you guys, I never took her out of this little nursery pot here, and it was very inexpensive. And she's just really in this really nice. I know I have this little lip drip here. This pot has a lip drip, but I also have this other paper plate just in case. Because when I soak her, guys. All right, so that's that. little tip was to just style your plants the way that you want to. You know, you have these plants possibly in your home in a little basket, all wrapped up, maybe in a little different type of setting. But I just wanted to show you this little couple of things that I got here. A couple of things I got here. This is such a baby plant. It looks kind of big. It looks a little big. But check her out. Oh my goodness. Like, I want to put her in a hanging basket. I'm actually going to bring the hanging basket from outside. I'm going to bring it in because it's just outside empty. Thinking, where am I going to... So all these little crispy bits here, I'm going to trim those. And look at this violet. Wow. I love this violet. And this is such a beautiful plant. It's going to hang so nicely. And I I live for these little features. I'm going to put her back in the bag for now. And then this one. Okay, so I purchased a philodendron. Was it a philodendron? Mythic dragonite. And it, my goodness, the texture, the look, I absolutely loved it. I think I owned it for about a second and a half before it died. Literally, I was so devastated. I tried everything. I tried cropping the yellow leaves off. I tried cleaning it. I checked for pests. I moved it to a different location. I did not succeed with that plant, and I wish I did, because it's just so beautiful. And it to me, it's something that you don't see at any stores, any big box stores or Plant Hill Nursery. But I did. I purchased her from Home Depot, and now she's since gone, and I miss her so much. I just kept her tag, which has a picture of her on it. And I followed all the tips and all the care tips, but just sometimes it happens. You're not meant to have that plant for whatever reason. And this is a plant that reminds me of the mythic dragonite. And look at the venations. Highlighted hunter green with this kind of ghost opaque gray on the outermost parts of the venation. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. And the leaves are embossed. And there's like a crinkle crisp. I don't know if this camera's making or doing it justice, but I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. It's a little baby miniature plant. It's like $3, guys. But already it has so much potential, and I hope that I can take care of this. It's just so beautiful. It reminds me of like the Hoya serpens, which, these sansevierias are like, oh, these snake plants. Well, it reminds me of the Hoya serpens. Reminds me of like a turtle's back. And I think that's so beautiful because have you touched a turtle's back? It's so rough and smooth. I know that's an oxymoron, but that's just how it feels to me. It's so rough and textured and mountainous and bumpy, and then smooth at the very same time. And so this is kind of how it feels to me. That's how the mythic dragonite felt to me. But this doesn't have the same type of, like the leaves aren't, I mean, obviously these are like very miniature leaves and they're small, and this is not even in the same plant family. But And let me just double check. I will definitely link the name of this because at the top of my head, I don't recall what it is. I think it's, I know that it's it's not a croton. Yeah, I'll link it. Sorry, guys. I'm just had a very early day and I am all walked out and I am all, but look at that. Look at her. Pardon my, look at her. Am I doing this correctly? Look at her. And I think she's gonna like this facing window, this northwest facing window. I think she's gonna really enjoy this. And it's got a little button. I call them buttons because they're like little pups. There's pups in there, and this is like one button accent, and then this is another button. I am going to disinfect my couch, guys. No, like this is another button. Like it's so beautiful. It looks like a little reptile. Like, I love that. I'm going to name you Tortoise. I'm going to name you Tortoise. So pretty. And then I've got these are 4-inch pots for either the Monstera up there. And I just love these little, like you see the waves. Can you see? You can't really see that. Look, can you see that? But this is about a 4-inch pot, and my little guys are gonna go in there, and they're gonna thrive in there. I will definitely use a succulent mix for. What should I put in here? What do you guys want me to? What do you want? Do you want to see me? Repot in these? What do you guys want to? I have 2. What do you guys want to see me repot in that? I'm gonna make a repotting video as well, and yeah. But first, let me know what you want me to repot. I can either do the Monstera in there. I could repot this guy here, the peperomia, because she's ready. You guys, she is ready. I can. You know what I really like about leca is that you can gently pull the plant to see the roots. Should I do that, guys? I want to show you. So I since treated her with neem oil just because I saw a spot, but I cut that plant off. No, it's still here. And I don't think there's any pests in here. You can see that, I think, right? But it just probably didn't like the Super Thrive. I think a lot of my plants don't like Super Thrive. But look at the roots, guys. It's so nice. They're so white. Maybe they'll look a little different in camera. But they're happy. Very happy. And it's in leca. Yeah. It's so beautiful. So maybe he's ready. Maybe I'd like for the roots to be a little bit longer before I do place her in water. And I also took a little razor to whatever was growing. It was like a little, I don't know what it was in this little veiny part here. But I since cleaned that off and it looks like, does it look like it's coming back? I don't know. But I took this giant magnifying paper and a magnifying plastic and I looked at that and it didn't seem to be a pest or anything. Or a fungus maybe. It didn't seem to be any of that. But just in case, I did wipe it with neem. And look at this leaf, guys. Does that look like it's getting bit by something? No. Let me take a look. No, because then I see that you see the margin. You see that beautiful highlighted margin right there. That lets me know it's just the way it gave me a heart. It gave me a heart, like you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. your children would tell you that they love you, and that's how you know you're doing a great job. I love you, mommy. And so that just gave me a little heart. And on that note, you guys, thank you all. If you stayed to the very end, thank you all for tuning in, liking, subscribing, and being part of my little planty world here. Until next time, yeah, comment which plants you want me to repot in these little terracottas. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy this beautiful day. Enjoy it. Get out if you're in the Midwest. Get out, enjoy the sun and this fall before the snow hits. But I just wanted to share this northwest facing window that we love. I usually come over here and I read to my children in this corner, but it is become my little planty sensation room. And until next time, stay tuned for the Hoya unboxings. Until then, I love you all. Have a blessed, beautiful day and love your plants. Take care.